All right, folks, part one went through, so looks like we're doing pretty well. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so the next one we want to take a look at is the same idea. So again, factor sum table. This is x squared, this is x, this is a number, this is a, this is b, this is c. So we want to go a times c. So 7 times 3. What's 7 times 3 is 21. Now again, we want to do our factor sum table for 21. 1 times 21, negative 1 times 21, times negative 21, because again, it has to be positive. So 3 times 7, negative 3 times negative 7, and that's it from there. So now we put it into that factor sum table. And again, if you have what we used to do when I taught algebra is I'd just have the students just have a page where they just have all the factors and sums. So then you can always use it when next time you have 21, you don't have to redo the table. You just have a running sheet of all the factors and sums. So this is 22, negative 22, this is 10, and this is negative 10. So again, what is our goal? What were we trying to find? That would be the first one. So circling that here, and how does that help us? What does it do? Well, it takes our middle term, and we now go 1x plus 21x. So that's what we just broke down 22x into. I bring down the original 7x squared, and then I bring down the original plus 3. So now I'm going to factor again by grouping. I have the 4 terms. There and there. What's common between these two? It's x. 7x plus 1. What's common between these two? Take out a 3 plus 3. 7x plus 1. Are these two the same? Yes. And if you just automatically make them the same without doing the math, then you're really not understanding the concept. You actually should factor, and then you do a comparison at the end to make sure you're right. So x plus 3 and 7x plus 1. Final answer. And again, obviously you can FOIL and distribute those and double check your answer. All right, here we go. The next problem I want to work on is, again, same concept. We have x squared, we have x, we have a number. Here's your a, here's your b, here's your c. We want to go a times c, and this one is our first negative. So 2 times negative 2, that gives us negative 4. So we want to do a factor sum table for a negative number this time. So in this case, it's negative 1 times 4, positive 1 times negative 4, and you have 2 times negative 2. And again, you could rewrite that, but it's going to give you the same thing. Once things repeat and give you the same thing, then you don't have to rewrite it. So now let's find the sum. Again, this is the sum. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. Positive 1 minus 4 is negative 3. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So those are the numbers for our factor sum table. This is our, so again, we want this negative 3. So this is the factor sum numbers that we're going to use. So how does that help me? And I'm going to take out the negative 3 and make this a 1x minus 4x. I'm going to bring down the 2x squared, and I'm going to bring down the negative 2. So from here, we're factoring again by grouping. What's common between the first two is x. Take out an x, and you're left with 2x plus 1. Second one, what's common, looks like a negative 2. So negative 4x divided by negative 2 is 2x. And again, this negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1. Are those two the same? Yep. X minus 2 and 2x plus 1. That right there is the final answer. Circle that. Call that one good. Looks like I have 2 more left here, folks. And obviously they're going to get a little more challenging as we go. I'm not going to do this one. This one is a super long one. So instead, I'm actually going to take the problem that was on the previous slide there. So 6x squared plus 17x plus 5. So that was up there. I think that one was already broken down for us, but I want to show you how we got there. So I'm not going to do that one. You want to do that one, go ahead, but I'm not going to do that. So here's your A, here's your B, and here's your C. So 6 times 5 is 30. Let's break down your factors of 30. 1 times 30, negative 1 times negative 30, 2 times 15, negative 2 times negative 15, 3 times 10, negative 3 times negative 10, and then you have 5 times 6, and negative 5 times negative 6. So again, you have to do all this work just to find two factors. That's kind of what we're doing here. So that's why once I would put all of these on a lined sheet of paper, and I would keep these just to reference whenever I need it, because you won't always need the same factor. So this is 31, negative 31. This is 17, negative 17. This is 13, negative 13, 11, and negative 11. So again, now if you ever do one of these again, and you have 30 as your AC, now you can take a look and see you have all these factors out, and so you should never have to do that again. In this specific and so then if I were you, I probably wouldn't circle it like that, maybe just put a line off to the side, because that's the one I need in this specific case. So that's 17x, I'm going to write as 2x plus 15x. I'm going to bring down our original terms again, 6x squared, and I'm going to bring down the plus 5. Now we are factoring by grouping. So we have grouping here. What's common between the first two? 2x. Take out 2x, you get 3x plus 1. In the second group here, I'm going to take out a 5. 3x plus 1. These two match. That's great. So 2x plus 5 and 3x plus 1. That right there is my final answer. All right, great. We have one more left here, folks. And this one again is going to, well, actually, okay, we have two more with the summary at the end. So this one again is going to be a little bit more lengthy with our factor sum. So we have the x squared, we have the x, we have the number. Here's your a, here's your b, here's your c. 2 times 18 is 36. And there are a boatload of factors to 36. So 1 times 36, whoops, 1 times, oh boy, 1 times 36. Negative 1 times negative 36. We have 2 times 18, negative 2 and negative 18. We have 3 times 12, negative 3 times negative 12. 4 times 9, negative 4 times negative 9. 5 does not go in there, so we don't have a 5. But we have 6 times 6, negative 6 times negative 6. So again, a lot of factors here. As I stated, I would do this once, keep it on a separate line sheet of paper, kind of doing this while I'm drawing my lines, and then I would always have this. So 37, negative 37, 20, negative 20, 15, negative 15, 13, negative 13, 6 plus 6, 12, 6 minus 6 is, I always wanted that one, is negative 12. Great. Okay, so what are we looking for in this specific question? We're looking for 15. So this is the option that we want to pick here. So again, I would take that 15x and make it 3x plus 12x. I'm going to bring down the original 2x squared plus that. I'm going to bring down the plus 18 here. And let's go with what we got here. So take out an x. 2x plus 3. What's common between those two? That would be a, take out a 6. Take out a 6, 2x plus 3. Are these two the same? Yes, they are. So we have x plus 6 and 2x plus 3. Again, a little bit more lengthy of a problem, but it is what it is. That's how we have to do those. So here's a summary. Here's a practice problem at the end. And that one's going to lead us into, I think, the next day's notes. So when using the product sum table, finding the product and sum of what parts of the problem. So you are multiplying the A times the C. You're trying to find the sum, which is B. All right, so taking a look at this one here. Again, here's your A, here's your B, and here's your C. So the A is 1, the B is negative 1, and the C is negative 12. So What I would do in this case is I would go, my AC is 1 times negative 12, so that's negative 12. Let's do our factor sum table. So negative 1 times 12, 1 times negative 12, negative 2 times 6, 2 times negative 6, negative 3 times 4, and 3 times negative 4. And let's find the sum of these. So we have 11, negative 11, 4, negative 4, 1, and negative 1. And again, what did we want to match with here? We wanted to match with the negative 1. So that would be this example right here. So when we rewrite, we start with the original problem, or let me rewrite the original problem here. X squared minus 1x minus 12. So when I do that, we take our factor sum over here. So we have 3x minus 4x is what we just found from our factor sum table. We bring down the x squared plus that. You bring down the negative 12. And we factored here. What's common between these two is x. You're left with x plus 3. And over here you have a negative 4. You're left with x plus 3. Those two are the same. You have x minus 4 and x plus 3. And hopefully you see maybe a shortcut that we can do, which we will get to next time. Great job. Thank you.